next film we're going to see is a film apparently of a Gasparilla parade, children's Gasparilla parade back in 1956. And here you see the different floats with the kids hauling them down the street and all the children participating. We don't know that any of our children were involved in it or not. We have no indication on the film to show that they were or were not. As you can say, there were some very pretty floats at the time. There's Mother Goose and a bunch of kids dressed in gowns and pretty. Oh gee, it's a nice.
Lafayette Street, now Kennedy Street.
Oh yeah, Kennedy Street Bridge at that time was the Lafayette Street Bridge. And some of those buildings over there have been long gone.
That's downtown.
Yeah, you hardly would recognize that downtown section now. Those buildings have been torn down and replaced by skyscrapers for way far back. Oh, the Lafayette Hotel there just before you go onto the bridge. Yeah, I remember that well. And
That's the old Tampa Electric plant.
yeah, in the background there, there's the old Tampa Electric Company plant, and having a little problem with the film there. Didn't take too well, so let's see if we. Many of these films, which Mike has had in his possession all this time, we really didn't know what was on the films until we had the opportunity of playing them. Now we're continuing on with the parade, and that's out by the drugstore out on what is now Kennedy Boulevard. At that time was Lafayette Street. And that was the, what is it? Oh, WDAE tower, radio station tower, and more floats going by, and yeah, Jackson Grain Company was in the background there with all their big funnels going up to get rid of the dust, and says Tuxedo Feeds on the sign, and there's a
Jackson may have been somewhere else, I'm not sure. There's Tampa U.
yeah, Tampa University over there, and trying to see what is in the background here. Atlantic Coastline Railroad there on those buildings, which were all along the riverfront there, was Atlantic Coastline. And of course there was a huge amount of team tracks with just multiple tracks. I'd say 20 or 30 tracks coming down all along the Hillsborough River on the east side of the river. And here they are coming down to Tampa Terrace Hotel on down there, and this is probably then must be Florida Avenue that they're on, I would say. That's Kennedy. Kennedy. Oh yeah, we were looking down Florida Avenue. As you
were looking down Kennedy.
Looking down Kennedy. Well, Tampa Terrace. Oh yeah, Tampa Terrace was on Kennedy. That's the corner of Kennedy and Florida, wasn't it? Yeah. And here we go now. Let's see if we can recognize any. Well, I've come to the end of that film. Well, this picture coming up now apparently drops back to a parade again.
Yes,
apparently the children's parade, and it's on the way to the, must be on the way to the fairgrounds, because I believe a little later in this film we actually do end up at the fairgrounds. And that looks like a bunch of the floats and the kids marching in the deal. And in just a second you're going to get a quick glimpse of Dick. He's going to be walking in front and then turn around and wave at the camera. So keep your eyes open. And then a few seconds after Dick, you'll see Mike. Keep your eyes open now. You'll see him very shortly. Won't be long now. There Dick goes. See him turn around and he waved at you. There's Mike come walking toward the camera. See him walking along across the bridge? There he is, walking up to you. There's Dick again. And there comes one of the famous Tampa buses. Now we're at the fairgrounds, and we're looking down at some of the activities going on in the fairgrounds. Yeah, that was back in the days when the fairground was on North Boulevard.